Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well today. It is day... I don't know. I have no idea how long it's been. I guess, 2 weeks? 3 weeks? 4... Let's see, I was in isolation in the tent for 2 weeks, and then it's been, 2 weeks since then. So, 3 weeks? I don't know. I've lost track. How many of you have lost track? How many of you have started to feel a little stir crazy? How many of you have started to feel a little bored? Are you bored yet? How many of you have started thinking, would you like to play a game? How many of you have started feeling don't get it wet or feed it after midnight? I get fed after midnight all the time. Right? So, a while back, not that long ago, I was told one of my videos was ridiculous. Whatever. To each his own. So, I decided I was going to go a little over the top today. What are you doing to keep yourself occupied? Right? What's this? Okay. This is a batarang. Okay? Magnetic. It's one of those nice metal. Seriously, if I were to throw this at somebody, it would probably do just as much damage if it was a real sharpened batarang, because this thing is heavy, right? I realized, staring at my collection, since I've been home, I've neglected to dust my amazing collection. So I'm going to show y'all my amazing collection, because why not, right? So I have a collection of Batmobiles, and I've been collecting for a while, as you can probably see. And Thor's hammer and Batmobiles, and I even have some Micro Machines and a whole bunch of Batmobile cars, and I have a fondness for Batmobiles, as you can probably tell. But I realized I need to dust them, right? I've got a collection of Star Trek ships, and I've got a collection of Pops, and I've got action figures, and guess what? Nerd. If you couldn't tell by the mask. So what are you doing to keep yourself occupied, right? Are you reading? Are you working out? Are you watching movies? Are you keeping track of your collectibles? I whittled a stick recently. Yes, I whittled a stick. It's pretty awesome, actually. This was complete, covered in bark. It's got a handle. Right? I even put in a little point. I'm debating if I'm going to keep it or not. But all joking aside, right? I think a lot of us are starting to feel the pressure of being stuck at home with nowhere really to go. And I was thinking how completely blessed we are to even have movie theaters, to even have, we have movie theaters, we have putt-putt golf and golf courses and theme parks and all manner of things to do. What about back in the day? What about 100 years ago? when there wasn't those things to do. We've become so accustomed to entertainment. We have become so accustomed to all of the things that keep us occupied. And I think in a small part of that, we've become a society, and I'm not just talking about the United States, but I think we've become a society of pleasure, of joy, of not joy, but pleasure and entertainment, stuff to do, stuff to keep us occupied. And I think largely that keeps us away from reality. We have some of the most state-of-the-art video games and movies, and now there's the Oculus Rift, which and some of the others, which are VR, which from a video game perspective, I've been waiting for that my whole life. I really want to get the lightsaber VR game where I can go off and fight stormtroopers and all of that, and do that fruit ninja / lightsaber / Guitar Hero sort of thing where you're moving all over the place. You kind of look like a robot mixed with an air traffic ground guide where you're like, over there and no and wait and I I think it would be fun to watch somebody doing that actually, but not see what they're seeing, just watching them flail around all over the place. It'd be fun. And then I wouldn't mind somebody watching me flail around all over the place, because why not, right? But I think we need to start taking this time, especially as some of the novelty of, I get a week off from work, I get to stay home and see how things go, and I want to talk about that for a second. There's a huge danger of staying at home and not going anywhere, because we tend to gravitate towards TV. We tend to gravitate towards social media. And right now, if you're spending almost all your day either watching TV or social media, even if you do work a little bit, you're not getting that separation between work and home. So all of that stress is now going to be in the home. And it's going to create a problem, because you're with your kids all day, you're with your spouse all day, and you're stressed because of work, you're stressed because of money, you're stressed because you're bored, and the house becomes a very stressful environment. So it's important for us to find things to do that are different and unique, and whether we do a game night or whether we do a movie night, maybe make a schedule of, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go for a walk. We're going to take the dog out. Maybe we're going to find a little place to hike. Maybe tonight we're going to build a fort. Maybe we're going to have a Nerf war in the house. Whatever the case may be, whatever you decide to do. One, it's okay to relax a little bit. It's okay to try to make people laugh. It's okay to try to not take something away from, but to joke a little bit about the situation. Yes, the situation is incredibly serious. Yes, those who are working on the front lines of this, they're in danger, and people are getting sick. Even healthy people are dying from this. And you just look at some of the other countries. You look at New York. You look at that 44-year-old doctor who passed away was relatively healthy. So this is serious. No, it is not a bad flu. It's more like a bad pneumonia for some people. Not everybody, but for some people. So please do take it seriously and consider those who are in harm's way. But at the same time, it's important for us to not only think about how absolutely horrible the situation is, right? Stay away from some of the news. Yes, be informed, stay informed, but don't spend your entire time on social media listening to other people, listening to opinions, watching the news. Don't spend all of your time doing that, because that is not healthy for anybody. make sure you are taking some time away from the situation. Make sure you're taking some time to recharge your battery, okay? Whether it be by reading a devotional. You know, I read the Hobbit devotional. It's a Christian devotional based on the Hobbit. It takes situations of the Hobbit. The devotional I read today talked about pride goes before the fall. It talked about Bilbo stealing from the trolls, getting himself into trouble, and how pride can get in the way. And it talks scripture. So the scripture verse for that was Romans 12:3 and Daniel 5:18, 2 Chronicles 26:16. So just Daniel 4:30, just to name a few. So this is an excellent devotional. I absolutely love this devotional. But you know, there's other books you can read if you want to spend some time reading some Christian books. There's plenty of them. The entire top shelf of my bookshelf is theology books. Everything on the second shelf is books from school, and most of the stuff on the third shelf is also some sort of educational textbook style or just unique information. Read, watch a movie, play a video game, you know, play with your kids, relax a little bit. Don't let the stress of what's going on wear you down. Stress can cause health problems, but it also causes strife with your friends. Make sure you are not allowing that stress to interfere, because no matter what happens, no matter what goes on, we have to be able to survive after this. Nobody really has any control of the situation, but you have control over what you're doing in the house. You have control over whether you go out with a camera and take some photos, or pick up a new hobby, learn to knit, or do the crochet thing, or the needlework thing on the fabric thingy, or whatever you need to do, right? Figure something out that's fun, that's exciting. Make sure it's safe. Make sure y'all aren't doing something stupid. No, it is not okay to joke and go to the store and pretend to cough on produce and go, haha, I've got corona. No, that's stupid, right? Don't do that. Don't be that guy, right? Holy crap, I've watched the news and I've seen some people do some really stupid stuff. One of the guys who did something stupid, he coughed on a whole bunch of people and said, I've got corona. Guess what? That's a terrorist threat. Don't do stupid stuff. Stupid. Be reasonable. Right? You're not the Joker. You're not crazy. You will be if you don't cut out the stress and all of that stuff. One of my favorite lines from all of the animated movies and all of the live action movies is, you're just one bad day from becoming me. Joker is telling that to Batman. He's telling Batman, something happened to you. I know, crazy, and something happened to you to get you to dress up like a giant bat. And he's right. But don't do stay away from the one bad day. Okay? You don't need to go down that road. You know, I have noticed that it's been a little bit more quiet on other fronts. Not as quiet as I would have liked. But I am hoping that we come out of this differently. I'm hoping that we come out of this more together. Last night, iHeart did a amazing at-home concert on the Fox network. And it was so beautiful watching all of these artists collaborate from their own homes, the technology that allowed One of the things was Tim McGraw. He was outside at the pool. He was using his little iPhone headpiece, and he had other members, and he could hear them, and they were playing at the same time, and they were streaming together, and then it was streaming to us in the living room, and then there were others who were Backstreet Boys were also there. They performed together. We saw some solos, and we saw some that didn't have instruments, that just did vocal, and it was beautiful, raising awareness about what's going on, raising funds for what's going on for those who are going hungry, for the Feeding America organization that's trying to get food into the hands, and then the first responders organization dealing with the first responders and their children, making sure that they're taken care of through all of this. It was hosted by Elton John, or Sir Elton John, I'm sorry. And it was it was a beautiful thing, and I really loved the little montages that they had, the little nurse montages talking about nursing, or talking about those who have changed their business to sew masks for hospitals or whatnot. And it was a beautiful thing to see what we are able to do to be able to come together. Now, some are angry over the way things are being handled, and you know what? Nothing anybody does would ever be good enough for everybody. Mistakes are going to be made. Some things you're going to get right, some things you're not. But that's why you have an AAR, an after action review. So don't worry about whether you think, so personal opinion, Hawaii now has corona. My personal opinion, the governor of Hawaii probably should have shut down all flights from the mainland into Hawaii to keep the virus off the island. Just me, right? You're an island. You're protected. You've got water around you, and you can't get there by boat, because you could stop that too, right? No one with coronavirus is going to be traveling on a boat. I hope not, anyway. But mistakes are made. Going forward, learn from them, just like we have in the past. Failure is the greatest teacher. Failure, the greatest teacher is, if you're Yoda. We're going to fail sitting here at home. We're going to fail at work. Our leaders are going to fail. They're going to succeed. You're going to succeed at home. So make sure when you're sitting at home, you're not focusing too much on everything that's gone wrong. Make sure you're focusing on what you can do, and make sure that you are spending most of your focus on what you can do yourself. Don't focus on what Joe Blow can do. Focus on what you can do yourself. What can you do for your family? How can you lift up your friends? How can you be there as a light for your friends? Not a darkness, not trying to spread darkness. Yeah, it's okay to spread some awareness, but be careful of your opinions in this time. As I started off this message, somebody told me that what I was doing was ridiculous and that it wouldn't help anybody. Specifically, we were talking about me playing with my toy swords. And actually, fun fact, I don't think a lightsaber is a toy sword, considering you can hit somebody with it, you can battle with it, you can duel with it. It is an exercise tool. If you've never lightsaber battled anybody, guess what? You're gonna get a little winded. It's not easy. Okay, it's pretty difficult. In fact, there's an entire sport that is being created around it, and there's an entire sport that was created around it using kendo swords. So lightsaber is just the new kendo sword. They just light up, but they're battle ready. So I wouldn't necessarily call that a toy. So right? But I think it used a good example of being the light for others. Make sure we are being the light. Make sure we are raising ourselves to a different level, getting away from the strife, getting away from confrontation, and looking at what's important. What's important is we are all in this together. We are the human race together on this planet, and we have an obligation to one another to lift up one another, love one another, and get away from our foolish, idle opinions. I was hurt. I was hurt by what was said. It wasn't helpful. It didn't do anything to lift me up. In fact, all it did was tear me down. And that's not an easy thing, especially when it comes from someone you care about or someone you've looked up to. You know, watching people fall off of a pedestal that you've put them on is difficult. You know, they say never meet your heroes. We all fall short of the glory of God. Forgive one another. Love one another. Be there for one another. And for crying out loud, find something to do. Don't allow boredom to creep in and take over. And, you know, if you run around your house and you start pretending, you know, that you're a samurai warrior or something, you know what? Run around your house and pretend you're a samurai warrior. Because who's it hurting? Nobody. Right? It's not hurting anybody to be a samurai warrior with a lightsaber and a mask. And if you were to go out and wear a cape and a lightsaber and a mask, who's it hurting? Don't go rob a bank like that. Don't do something stupid. Play around in your house. Right? Play with your kids. Relax. Use your imagination. Whatever you're doing right now, it's okay to revert a little bit and find that childlike mentality a little bit. That's fine. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy life. Don't lose hope in what's going on. Okay? Don't let the world drag you down. Don't let people's negativity discourage you. Find something to do. You know? Need to dust. Play with Batman's 1989 card. Okay, I'm not going to play with this because this is one of my babies and no scratches, no nothing on it, which is why I need to dust it, because dust can cause damage. So, but you get what I'm saying. Find something to do. Enjoy yourself. Play. Alright? But please, stay healthy. Do your part. Personal distance. Don't social distance yourself. Use social media to talk to your friends. Call your loved ones. People you don't talk to as often. If they come up in your mind, let them know you care about them. Let them know what they mean to you. And if you know a nurse who is working right now, or somebody who's working in a nursing facility right now, or your grocery store workers, or your home improvement store workers, they're essential still. Your EMS, your fire, your police, your 911 dispatchers. If you know them, please say thank you to them. Please show them your gratitude for continuing to work through this, to continue to put themselves out there in hard times. And honestly, all of these people who are still working in stores and working out there, they're putting themselves at risk for you, for us. So please thank them by staying home. Thank them by maybe going and finding a small charity and donating $5, $10. This isn't about money, but money does make the world go round. So if you say thank you by writing a card and sending it to your local fire department, send a card, a handwritten card to your local fire department. Let them know that you care. Let them know that you're appreciative of what they're doing. Because in the event of an emergency, heaven forbid, you're going to be glad that they're still working. So don't forget to say thank you. And don't forget to tell your loved ones how you feel. It's important that we stay in this together. One race, human, under God, made by God. his children. Love y'all.